Welcome. In this video you're going to learn about the configuration options of Dmapper 3. The version in this video is Dmapper 3.1 build 18. We won't be explaining the main Dmapper screen, rather we're going to talk about the configuration screens that you can select from the main menu bar. Click Configuration. You see a series of tabs containing different items for configuration, and at the bottom you can choose to save the configuration changes or to exit the config screen without saving. The first tab is the serial port baud rate setting that you would use if connecting to a locally connected serial device such as a TNC. These settings must match your serial device. It's a common problem people have where their baud rate speed of their device is not the same as the baud rate speed that Dmapper is expecting. If you're not sure, play around with these settings until you think you've got it right. Usually that resolves the problem. You also can select the serial port that your computer has designated to your serial device. Setting this to 0 also disables the port communications completely. Auto open port means when you start Dmapper, it will automatically open the designated serial port and start receiving serial data from your TNC or other serial device. If this is not selected, then you'll need to choose the Open COM port button on the main screen when ready to receive data from the serial device. KISS mode is a mode available in various TNC type devices and is a different way to process the incoming data. If you're not familiar with KISS mode, there are plenty of online resources that will teach you about it, or just refer to your device manual. Currently my TNC is configured for KISS mode, so that's what I have it set as. If you don't know what mode your TNC is in, then just leave this unchecked so Dmapper will look for standard incoming APRS text via the serial port. The next option is the Telnet mode, where you can connect to an internet or network linked device that streams APRS data to Dmapper rather than a device connected to the serial port. This is also where you would configure Dmapper to talk to a different program that is managing the serial port or other APRS data feed. Dmapper will connect to those devices that ask for an IP address and sometimes require an IP port number. Sometimes if you're connecting to many of the APRS data servers, you can choose a different port number to give you a different type of data stream configuration. Some APRS servers may require a login name and password. There's also a place to store optional filter type commands that the server may accept. If you have questions about the whole APRS server network, just do a search online for the resources. Note that some of these options have a drop-down where you can look up and select a previously used internet address and configuration. Dmapper will store the last 5 that you have. You also have the option of deleting the ones that you want while they're being displayed. The registration tab contains some of the first information you would put in if running the registered version. The Data Files tab is where your current data files are being stored, so any of your captured position data will be stored in this location on your computer. The default is shown, but you can change the location as desired or reset it back to this default. There's some debug logging. I don't suggest you turn that on right away, but if you're having problems with decoding incoming data and you're going to be working with me, this option will allow the raw incoming data strings to be captured so I can take a look to determine what might be causing your issues. Understand that if you turn this on, Dmapper is going to be constantly saving the stream of data to a file, which can grow quite large. When you have this on, you'll also be getting a warning reminder when you first start Dmapper. So if you keep getting that reminder, then this is the place to turn debug logging off. The other setting is where you find other specific options for configuring the Dmapper experience. For example, you can allow detection of APRS messages rather than just position data. You can also prevent duplicate positions, like those that don't move and keep sending the same string, keep those from posting to and cluttering your map. And you have the ability to turn off the option to capture all of the incoming position data and not just those units you're specifically tracking in the call sign box. The Capture All feature will make use of the bottom row to display the other field APRS units heard by Dmapper. That bottom row will constantly change as the new positions come in, unless they're specifically listed above. If you select the Tracking On box in this row, then all the incoming stations will post to your map. In reality, if you're working in a SAR environment, then you're going to have specific units you only want to track, and you're going to turn this off so this doesn't fill your map with other units. Mapping is where you tell Dmapper what map program you're using, and depending on the program you can select different display options that the map program is capable of doing through the Dmapper commands. You select the different maps, and a lot of SAR units are using Terrain Navigator. Note when you click on the different map programs, there will be any available options displayed below, such as choosing to leave tracks where a unit has been in addition to where they currently are, or to show the tracks with connecting lines, so if you can see the route they took to get to the current location. I recommend not showing tracks while you get used to the program. Just show the field unit's current location, which is the default for Terrain Navigator if these boxes are not checked. This is also where you can choose to post tactical names to the map rather than the call sign of the APRS device. Those names are listed on the right hand side and should be things like search team name designators. While this feature is new, you may not be able to edit and save these names with this current version, but it will be available in future versions for you to save whatever you want to name them, and that's what will display on your map. The timed auto import is what refers to when Dmapper posts to the map. By clicking this box, you tell Dmapper every 60 seconds to take control of the mapping program and post any new incoming position data, or you can tell it to stop doing that and manually post your data by pressing the Post to Map button on the upper right side of your main Dmapper screen. If you're just getting started, I recommend that you just leave it on stop and then manually post your data to the map as often as you want. Just let Dmapper capture a little data, then choose to post it and watch Dmapper go through the posting process. What Dmapper does is it takes control of the mapping program and sends the commands and data needed to make position display on the map. The Advanced tab is not something you'll use unless we provide specific instructions to change or add something. I use this to override certain settings when, for whatever reason, the standards for operating Dmapper needs to be changed. When you're done configuring all the Dmapper settings, you can choose to save and exit the configuration screen or exit without saving the new changes. You only have to select the Save button once in the configuration window, and you can go from tab to tab making changes before selecting to save them. This completes the Dmapper configuration screen video. If you have any questions, please visit www.dmapper.com for the latest version of Dmapper and additional information. Thank you for giving Dmapper a try.